giant zucchini from my dad's garden. This thing is huge, so I'm just gonna cut about half of it in half moons, and I'll put the other half aside for another day. Hey cuties, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm trying something a little new. I was inspired by a certain ingredient in the grocery store, and I created a whole recipe based on that ingredient. And I'm excited to share it because it's an original recipe that I just made up, and I think it's absolutely delicious. It's easy. There's not a lot of ingredients, and it's semi-healthy, I'm gonna say. It is a meatless meal, so this is great for Meatless Monday, or if you're just trying to cut back a little bit on meat. Maybe just once a week your family decides to not have meat or chicken or fish. So this is kind of a nice change, and I hope you stick around and watch the video. Let's get cooking. I'll show you what inspired this meal. This, I saw it in the store. It's tri-colored tortellini with cheese, and I just thought, I want to make that like old school primavera, but I wanted to make it my way because I had some vegetables in the refrigerator that I really just want to use up actually. So that's what I have here. It's about a half a red pepper, and it's the one in the jar from when I made the hummus recipe. So I thought I'd use that. So I just put it into strips. Over here is that zucchini I showed you. I used a little bit less than half, and I had to do it in quarter moons because it's so big, as you can see. But it's gonna be so fresh, right from my dad's garden. Gonna be delicious. And I also had some baby carrots. So I cut those kind of on the bias in little chunks. Over here is some frozen broccoli that I just put in the microwave for just a couple, well, actually 1 minute. This isn't very much, and it's the baby broccoli. So I just put it in for about 1 minute with a little bit of water to steam it. And over here is 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Here's my cheese, that's Parmesan cheese. And later I am going to add at the end the basil. I'm gonna chop that up, and a little bit of parsley. And in this pan, I have a little bit of olive oil. So I'm going to saute the carrots first because I think they might need a little extra time. So I'm gonna do that now and come back to see what I'm gonna do next. Over here I just have a pot with water in it. I'm gonna wait for it to boil. I am gonna add the tortellini kind of after I do everything else because it's not gonna take very long, and I want it to be nice and hot. So stick around for the next step. Okay, so what I have here, I cooked the carrots a little bit beforehand just to give them a little head start. Then I added the zucchini and the olive oil that I had in the pan that I showed you. I did add a little salt and pepper, just a little bit. You want to kind of layer flavors by seasoning each step. So these two vegetables, of course, have no seasoning on them beforehand. The pepper probably has some kind of salt from the jar. And of course the broccoli has none, but I'll add a little bit more when I add those items. So I'm going to keep cooking this until, I don't want them too brown, but I want to give them a little toasty and get them a little soft. So stick around for the next step. I decided to add just a little bit of oregano, dried oregano, just to give it that Italian flavor. So that's what's in here, and I'm going to let this cook a little longer. So of course, these are the veggies I'm using. You could certainly use anything. I think some cherry tomatoes would be good in this. Yeah, I mean, just about anything. Some yellow squash, some peppers that are fresh that you slice into little slivers. I think that would be delicious. So pretty much anything you want. You know, use your imagination. Okay, so my zucchini's got a little bit of color on it. They're softened, so are the carrots. I don't want them like mushy. I kind of want them to still have a crunch. So next I'm gonna add the peppers and the broccoli, which are pretty much cooked, so they just have to warm through. I am also going to add some crushed red pepper flakes and my garlic, and I just have to cook it for about a minute and come back for the next step. As promised, I added the broccoli and the peppers back in with the garlic and a little bit of red pepper flakes. And I'm just letting this saute for about a minute. The next step is I'm going to remove the vegetables from this pan. I'm going to turn it down to low, and I'll show you what I do next to make the sauce. Just look at the color of those veggies. They look so good, and it's going to be so pretty with the tri-colored tortellini. It's going to be good. So I have the tortellini going, and the water was boiling. I added some salt, and it only takes 3 to 5 minutes. It said as soon as they float, they'll be ready. And over here in this pan, all I have is the cream, and I'm slowly heating that up, and I added some cheese. So essentially it's a little cheese sauce, but I think I'm gonna add in some salt and pepper, of course, and a little bit of nutmeg. I think it'll be so delicious. I also wanted to mention, oh, by the way, that's a little bit of carrot there. It's nothing weird. You don't want to make your cream boil. You just want to heat it through slowly. And you can see it's bubbling on the side a little bit. And it's just going to melt the cheese and thicken up a little bit, and that'll be our sauce. I just tasted this cream sauce. Absolutely delicious. And of course the cream. And I'm just letting it slowly heat up and melt that cheese. And then once the tortellini's done, that's gonna go right in the pot. I'm gonna add the vegetables back in, and I'm gonna heat it all up a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when I serve. Okay, here's my finished dish. I think it looks amazing. I'm really happy with it, and it was so simple, and it's amazing. No meat, it's just got the cheese and the cream in it. You could easily make this a vegetarian dish, although you wouldn't want to, well, I guess you could use the cheese and you could use the tortellini, but oh, it's so good. So I added the basil, parsley, and a little more cheese, and I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this. So if you like this video, I would love you to subscribe so you can see every time I upload, if you hit that bell notification. And I do a lot of cook with me videos. It's my favorite. But I also share what I eat in a day, depending on what plan I'm on as far as weight loss. What else do I do? I sit down and chat sometimes, but the cooking ones are definitely my favorite. So give this a thumbs up if you like the video. That would be great. It helps out my channel. And if you want to try this recipe and let me know in the comments below if you did and what you thought about it, I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day.